What is going on, my YouTube friends, my Patreon friends? How we all living today? We got some special ones today, man. We got my friend TJ sending me the Waifs live at the basement. And this was, let me get this right. This was a song called, two songs, Papa and Crazy Train. We doing an Aussie cover? We getting into an Aussie cover? Because I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I was sad to hear that Ozzy Osbourne isn't touring anymore. And a guy that I used to work with at the guitar store went and saw him back in like 2014. And he said that, like, you know, Ozzy showed up. He said Ozzy showed up. Maybe he didn't sing all the notes all night, but he said he tried his heart out. And he said he interacted with the crowd, and it was incredible. And shout out to Ozzy Osbourne and the band and everything, man, because like they had a long career and they did a lot for rock and roll. Big Ozzy Osbourne fan, if that's the way we're going with this. But anyway, everything you've sent me so far, my friend, has almost broke my brain, so I'm really looking forward to this. My friends, don't forget to give me the thumbs up and to subscribe here on YouTube. It's the best way to help my channel. I got a Patreon link in the description box if you want to send me your stuff as well. Let's watch this, man. I'm pumped. First one back from being sick. I did one yesterday. Now we're starting this up today.
I'm going to sing this for Donna. She asked me to, it wasn't on the set list, and she asked me to sing it for you. So
I remember.
I like their accents. Great sounding harmonica.
Well, my papa was a fisherman.
Woo! She didn't know she sat down right behind her. That's great. That's great, man. My papa was a fisherman too. Come on now.
And he fished the deep blue sea. Well, he homemade some fine blackberry nip. He'd always pass a nip on me.
I like that.
Don't be so big. Well, he smelled like black tar fishing nets. Oh, tiger belly ground. Well, he was my good papa, yeah. But he be bones now. He be bones now. He be bones now. He be bones. Granddaddy was a sailor, and he sailed from far across the sea. Well, he don't talk some kind of funny, but it never bothered me. No, it never bothered me. When he spoke about his homeland, 'twas with a sad and furrowed brow. No more tears, Granddaddy. You just be bones now.
I am mesmerized. I don't even want to swallow because I don't want to miss something. Like when she's singing in this falsetto section, I'm like, wow. Just to come off that harp, like just to come off playing that harp and then sing this much of a story. And like, I'm a sucker for blues, man. I'm a sucker for those like blues riffs, those pentatonic riffs when you're singing. And just like those bends, those arcs, everything she's doing, man, is so tasty. And I specifically love when she's starting the phrases off with that kind of bark, ba-da-da-da. Well, you know what I mean? And then she goes into like the kind of more gentle part of the riff. I love that, man. I love that. I don't mean to be sitting here with a big, like, goofy smile on my face while she's talking about, if she's talking about her family being, you know, no longer with us. I'm just like, I don't want to say I'm shook. That's the wrong way of putting it, man. I am mesmerized. I am mesmerized by this.
You just be bones now. You just be bones now.
Great head voice.
Well, I look now at my father.
Woo!
And his black hair all gone gray. that did carry me, well, they're withering away. We got to lay down our burdens, Papa.
Whew.
Won't you come sit with me at home? We've got to spend some time together before we just be bones.
Wow, man. Wow. What a singer. What a storyteller. Like, just all by herself like that. Like, wow. Wow. And she would, like, bite, have that rasp, and then just, like, end on the head voice, the falsetto. Like goosebump stuff, man. Goosebump stuff. Love the casually putting the instruments on. Man, that was a great intro. Great intro. I wish I knew more about harmonica to be able to like explain what was going on. I know nothing about it. I have one. I played 4 notes of a harmonica in a Steven Tyler song once. But like, it's just when it's done well like that, I think it's so captivating. I think it's so cool. I think she's holding on to SM57, which is like it's an instrument mic. You can cup them. Probably won't get too much feedback issues. You won't get like a ton of like room noise or anything, and it'll be nice and throaty for that harmonica. Singing into the Beta 58, I think is cool because she can kind of like just live in the moment and live like the story she's telling, and you can leave the pattern a little bit, and it'll still pick up your voice, right? If you had something more dynamic, like say the 57 in her hand or whatever the instrument mic is in her hand, or even like 7B, if she left it that much, it would be much more audibly noticeable. The sonics would change so much. Typically, you can adjust stuff like that. But Beta 58, I think, was a great choice. I think it was a smart choice. So, and all that falsetto stuff would stand out real nice, too. It's got this, like, nice sizzly top end, and it's a little bit like of a more gain mic. So, it seems like it transmits more. It takes in more signal. It lets more signal through. Gain is, like, at the other end of the console, what it's letting into the board to light up the EQ and all that stuff. But anyway, great mic. Great pairing for the two. Obviously, great voice. I'm excited to hear this get down. Let's do this. Let's back it up a sec. Yeah, I was out to lunch. That's fine. I stand by my points.
Run down that crazy track. Oh, crazy track. Roll
Nice.
down that crazy track. I'm going to New Orleans. Oh, and I ain't coming back. Oh, crazy train.
fantastic transition, man. Fantastic transition. I love the train on the snare drum. Like, I don't know. I've always heard it referred to as a train. I'm sure it has like a technical term. But I love that. I find it really hard to do with the kick drum pattern. And he's playing the cymbals and stuff too. This singer, man, she sounds great. She sounds great. She's got like all these like kind of like really unique pops and kind of like breaks to her voice that I like. And if you give it like a country blues kind of like a thing, I like the timbre and like the tone of her voice and how it sits in this style of music, right? Almost like a cleaner rockabilly kind of vibe with the train, right? The guitars, the acoustic guitars sound fantastic, very strummy, very strummy. She's even got like a mute. It's like a resonance mute. I don't know what the technical term is. I used to sell them too, but anyway, it's like a rubber pad basically that goes in the sound hole of the guitar, and it's supposed to manage the acoustics and the resonance of the guitar better on a live stage, so you don't get a lot of acoustic guitars will feed back at 400 hertz because it's roughly like your A string. So then if you have too much of that going on, the string just starts buzzing and you have issues. So that puck's supposed to alleviate that a little bit. And then the pickup would be on the inside of the guitar because she does have it plugged in. And then the other guitar player in the back, I keep wanting to call him Elvis, but it's not Elvis. He's got a I can't remember what those ones are called either. Wow, I'm having a day. Anyway, it inlays in the sound hole, and that's the pickup now. So then there's like a cable that comes out of that, and that reacts more, I guess it would be like a piezo. It reacts more like an electric guitar pickup, so there's like 6 magnets in a row, and those are the ones that pick up the sound. Really neat, man. Great setup. You can really hear that. Like, it's all about that. It's all about that rhythm, right? Keys, yep. Great lead, man. Great piano lead. I love that. I love hearing good piano players, and I feel like it's just so obvious. It's so obvious when like the good ones are up there because like it was just so tasty. It was so classy sounding. It fits so well. Buddy with the upright bass too, man. Like, shout out to him. He's killing this. It looks like he's got some big brass strings on that too. And I don't know what. I feel like they're like it's a silver string, like a stainless or something. Normally on upright basses, because I feel like the copper tone looked funny, but like. Buddy's putting in work, man. Buddy's putting in a lot of work on that thing. Just the pickup there. Right here. Nice. Wild acoustic solo, man. Wild acoustic solo. Doing those whole step or whole, and it was like almost a 1.5 step bend. I'd have to go back and find out, but it doesn't matter that much. But doing that on an acoustic guitar is hard enough, let alone it looks like it's a 60s one. And you can set the action up so it plays nice and low and it's easier to play. The strings are real close to the neck. But if it is a vintage 60s, man, you don't really want to start twisting things too much, right? You don't want to start turning that big bolt, the truss rod in the guitar neck. That it'll balance it, it'll move it back and forward. You don't really want to play with that too much if it's vintage, because that thing's like very well could be a down payment on a house if it's from the 60s. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
You're steaming through that crazy line. Whoa, my crazy train. You're steaming through the crazy line. Oh, I got on smoke. We pride ourselves in the small, obvious mistakes we make, just to prove to you and the rest of the world that we are live. On all of his homemade, handmade instruments, the electric guitar, the ukulele, the archtop guitar, and the beautiful acoustic guitar, all made by Joshua.
Really?
Josh Cunningham.
It looks like a 60s Gibson. Wow. Wow. The headstock and everything, man, had me sold. Had me totally sold. Wow, good for him, man. Good for him. Wow, man. Oh, look at that. Wow. And if I may, this might sound like a cop out if you don't like my attitude that much. But I love making mistakes, man. Like in a workplace environment, I would almost do that intentionally so that you would correct me to break down your walls a little bit. And I like that. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with being wrong. I don't mind being wrong, man. I want to be corrected. I want to be told, because I try not to assume a little bit. Like, so, like my statement, like, yeah, okay, if it was a 60s Gibson, yes, it would be super, super expensive. It looks like a beautiful 60s Gibson guitar, man. He killed it on manufacturing this. So, like, yeah, I was wrong. This is not a 60s guitar. The statement about the 60s guitar very well could be true. But, like, if I didn't catch that and someone told me that, I would love that. I would love that, to find that out and go look into this. You know what I mean? I'm excited. I'm gonna look into these after. Like, it's just, I don't know. There's a part about that, man. I like that. I like what she said about our mistakes. I dig that. I kind of lean into that a little bit.
And on the bass, the stand-up double bass, the electric bass guitar, the most zen member of our band.
Look at this thing.
The wonderful Mr. Ben France from Kalamunda, West Australia. On the beats and the sticks, the man that educates the rest of the band on tour. Dave reads new science magazines and tells us all about the crazy, wonderful stuff of the world.
Everyone needs one.
About amoebas, volcanoes, and rocks. He's a geologist. Mr. David Ross McDonald from Adelaide, South Australia.
Playing brushes too.
Haha, here we go.
Can't run away.
For the first time ever in Australia, for the first time ever in King's Cross last night, this man was the last dancer. He was asked to leave the nightclub because he was the only man left dancing on the floor. 6 o'clock this morning, all the way from the Basque in Spain, Mr. Mikel Spiros.
The other keyboard player. Not even looking.
And my little sister, one more time, Vicky Thorne, wing attack in netball.
This is my sister Donna Simpson. Gentlemen.
Just in time for the morning.
That was a fun section, man. I like their dynamic together. I like how they gave everyone the spotlight. I even like the kind of throwback lighting vibes. Like, this gives me such a 90s, early 2000s lighting setup vibe where you have like a 1,000-watt can. You just dim them all except for the one that's like pre-pointed at the band member. Like, I love that. I love that. That's what I grew up in, man. Lugging those big, heavy lights around. And again, I'm projecting here a little bit. I'm assuming a little bit because I can't actually see what lights they're using, but that's what it kind of looks like to me. I love the band moving out of the way and giving everyone their spotlights, man. Like, it's cool, man. It's real cool. Ride it out. Yeah, one more. Come on, Joshua. Great performance, man. Fantastic performance. Wow. Oh, it apparently disappeared. Okay. Well, that's fine. Crazy performance, man. I came in here and I totally forgot that I thought it was gonna be an Aussie song. And now I'm sitting here thinking it kind of was an Aussie song, but yeah. Anyways, I loved it, man. I loved it. I love the kind of bluegrass kind of vibe, kind of country blues vibe. The lady starting the thing off with the harmonica and singing, wild blues riffs, man. I love to hear that. What else? The bass player is playing an SVT. So that was it's like one of the mixed ones. I can't remember what they call it, valve state or something like that. I think it has preamp tubes, and then the rest of it's what they call solid state. So it's not crazy heavy. Like the regular Ampeg heads, it almost takes two people to carry. They're like this tall, this wide. They have so many of these tubes in them. Like imagine in the back of the old TVs, almost that kind of a vibe. So these ones, it's a smaller version of that. They still sound really warm, really punchy. I think that's a smart pairing for that bass guitar. And like I obviously, now that I found out that it's handmade by Buddy, Joshua in the guitar or in the band, I would have to know more about the instrument to like, dive into like what amp or audition it. But I'm assuming that they all did that. In the event, what I'm getting at is in the event that you had an upright, I think that's a great bass amp. Kind of bar none. It doesn't really matter. I don't think it really matters what kind of upright it is. And I thought the one that they made, the one that they showcased there, was really cool, man. When they threw that out, that took me for a loop. And I'm gonna spend a little time looking at them now. So, anyhow, my friends, if you appreciated this, if you enjoyed this, I appreciate the thumbs up right back. Don't forget to subscribe here on YouTube. What else? Hit me up on Patreon. Send me your links. Get your shout outs, my friends. See you all in the next one.